my God. Yeah, I know. Sound a little goofy still. This is the best I could do, but I had to get us on the air. Maybe if I turn this one down, it'll be a little bit better because there's no other sound going on except me. Just getting a weird feedback loop. I tamed it down a whole bunch. I've been slaving away at the soundboard because if you may have recalled, if you were here on our YouTube on Wednesday, I was all geared up to get going. Let's do a show, but everything went to hell. I'm not feeling well anyway, but I'm doing better for those of you that care, and I know all of you care. But yeah, I've been a little bit under the weather. Not horrible, but sleepy, tired kind of deal. I was traveling all last week, got home, and man, it would just hit me. I just got the old, that feeling in your head. It's like, oh no. So I dealt with a head cold, but that was okay. I was still here to do the Wednesday show because for the most part I sound congested. But my voice is held together. It didn't go all like Darth Vader and stuff. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll do the show. But I came on to do the show. And this is after I'd been recording with Matt Knapp on Bigfoot Crossroads on Tuesday night, which that episode is out there now. If you guys haven't caught it, please check it out and support Matt's, what he's doing over there on Bigfoot Crossroads on YouTube and on several of the podcast platforms. You can find his show, but I was his guest this week. So we had a great talk. It was marvelous. I've known Matt for years. We've talked several times here and there, chatting on the phone. It's just, but it's one of those things where just for whatever reason in the world of craziness, we never actually connected. So he asked me, he said, well, yeah, you want to come on the show? And I'm like, great. I'd love to. So I appeared on his show, which is live now. Again, Bigfoot Crossroads, if you check that out. But we had a great talk, and he's going to return the favor and appear on a very near future episode of the Portal podcast. So we'll have the chance to turn the tables. You know what I'm saying? You got to dry wash your hands and have a diabolical look. But anyway, it was a great time, and special thanks to Matt for having me on. It was a great conversation. It was really phenomenal. Tomorrow night here on the Portal, you may or may not be aware, but our very own Paranormal Portal psychic, Mrs. Deborah Varner, is going to be here doing free psychic readings to those of you that want a little sneak peek into what's coming up in your world. And so that'll be tomorrow night. So if you're listening to the live show, only the live show, tune in tomorrow night and you can listen to Deb and you can get a reading of your very own, free of charge. So Deb's been coming on the show for years. She's just been a wonderful, dear friend, part of the Portal family forever. And she comes on and does her readings. So I hope you guys will take advantage of that because she is just been incredible. I never get bored of listening to her. I get, I'm a little OCD or a little ADHD that I get tired of things pretty quick or bored or disamused, but I can listen to Deb do that for years and never get tired of it. So I hope you guys will take advantage of that. And that'll be tomorrow night right here on YouTube, or if you're listening on TFR Live, that's going to be there as well. So, and you'll utilize the same call-in number that's right below my face, 720-923-0500. So that's tomorrow night here in the Paranormal Portal. I would have told you about it on Wednesday, but Wednesday was a mess. So listen to this. If I go like this, I start to sound more and more robotic. What do you think? Should I just go with it? I don't know where that loop is coming from, but it has something to do with my production software. Oh, Lucky Gypsy coming in. I missed you too. Thank you so much. I really did miss doing this. I know I tell you guys all the time, look, I really look forward to doing these shows, but I really, really do. You guys have been going through my life with me for some of you almost the whole time for 7 years, but many of you for many years. And, you guys have been a part of my journey, and it's a big part of my weeks to have these chances to sit down with you guys and have these conversations and stuff. I'm not going to be able to join. I'm working overtime. It's okay, Shrek. I'm sorry about that. Real life happens, but you can always listen back to the recorded episode. But either way, yeah, I mean, I'm just thrilled that you guys listen when you can. So I did miss it when I couldn't do Wednesday show. I was really disappointed. But, and of course it's frustrating because everything worked fine for years. And then in one update can change everything. And I still haven't got it solved, but at least I've symptomatically been able to make it listenable. You should have heard it on Wednesday. It was strange, weird. I'd be like talking. And it'd be this repeated echo stacking on each other that just went into perpetuity. And then it would reach this feedback arc and just, it was a mess. I was so frustrated. So anyway, Brent, the balls. Not sure what the balls means, Shrek. But cheers, I guess. But it's great to see so many of you guys coming. Oh, wait, let me do that again. There we go. I know some of the people checking out the show love the sound of a snapping plastic bottle when I'm taking drinks. So I was just playing them a little refrain. All right, so we got a lot to go through tonight, ladies and gentlemen. As always, we're going to be doing some live in-studio investigating because Sheldon was supposed to be here tonight, but he had things come up as well, so he's not here. And I was sick, so good thing Don didn't come over. But I called him and said, Don, I'm sick. I don't know if you want to come over. He's got, I got a lot going on. No, I can't get sick, so I'm going to bow out. So he wasn't here Wednesday, and then it went terribly. Tonight, Sheldon couldn't be here, but it's okay because I'm going to do some live investigating tonight. That way I won't have to talk the whole way through the show as well. But it'll be interesting to see if we can make some contact, find some meaningful contact with some spiritual presences who are kind and gentle and loving and warm, not anything dark and horrible. They're not allowed. So anyway, before we do that, we're going to get to the news because I got some articles pulled up for your enjoyment. Hopefully you enjoy it. So without further ado, let's get to the news. Then we're going to get to the Discord question of the week, and then we're going to dive into some investigate. So let's get her done. Get her done. Which button do I push? I forgot. It is the most trusted news. I got to turn that down so I don't sound like a... And now you'll pay for the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge. Like I'm doing truck and tractor pulls. I get a kick out of myself there. You can see the setup, ladies and gentlemen, all set to go for some investigating later. So hopefully we'll have some wonderful things happening and occurring to document activity. So, without further ado, let's get to the news and find out just what's been going on in the world since we last were able to visit and talk about this. How do I sound to you guys? I'm just curious. Anybody let me know. Do I sound a little tinny or echoey or anything like that? What are you hearing? So, if you wouldn't mind, let me know. I'd appreciate it. Because in my ears, the monitor, it sounds real kind of tinny. So, we're looking forward to go check out Cliff's Museum. Oh, yeah, Cliff's Museum would be great. I got to get over there, too. Cliff's a great guy. Having had the chance to sit down and talk with him and such, just sound a little sick. Okay, all right, thanks, John. Okay, I just mean the sound quality, not a diagnosis. This is WebMD here. No, I know I sound a little sick. I'm actually feeling much better. Colds usually hit me extraordinarily hard, but it's kind of my personal kryptonite, but no, feedback is good. Okay. All right, good. Thank you, John. Appreciate it, guys. All right, let's get into the first news article of our news festival of fun here on the Paranormal Portal. And the first one up is coming from unexplained-mysteries.com. I don't even remember what I pulled up for you because I pulled them up on Wednesday. Let's see what I pulled up for you. Oh. Maybe this is my problem. Maybe this is what happened. Maybe it's not a cold. Maybe it could be this from unexplained-mysteries.com. Please support their site. Stop over there and see what they're doing. Great site. Comes scientists publish study into people who say others are allergic to them. What the hell is that? Good God. Big ad that got bigger and bigger. People who say others are allergic to them. Maybe people are allergic to me. What do you think? Is that possible? Or maybe I'm allergic to other people. I don't know. This is from TK Randall, 31st of July. And the article says, researchers... Let's try that again. Researchers have found that there is something to the stories of people who claim that others get ill when they are around. For years, some people have insisted that their skin emits gases that trigger an allergic reaction in others, prompting them to withdraw from society and leave their lives in solitude. I think it's just a good deodorant can help that. I'm sorry, that's stupid. Now, though, researchers in Japan have published a new study in which they conclude that this mysterious condition is actually the real deal. Even though they have yet to figure out how it works, the scientists recruited 20 people with the condition and compared them to 24 healthy volunteers. The research found that those who believed others were allergic to them emitted much higher amounts of various compounds from their skin, including 50 times more acetone, 40 times more toluene, I don't know what toluene is, and 5 times more mercaptans than those in the control group. Well, that's weird. So they really are. They really are no fun to be around for some people. Excuse me. Toluene in particular is known to act as an irritant. Exposure in indoor air, even at parts per billion levels, is thought to trigger symptoms such as irritation in the skin, eyes, nose, and throat, psychoneurotic symptoms such as dizziness, nausea, and headache, the researchers wrote. While the research ultimately failed to explain the phenomena, it did help to validate the concerns and experiences of those suffering from the condition. Greater emission of gases were observed in the people allergic to me groups. Were observed in the people allergic to me groups with potential offensive odors and or adverse health effects. And there are people who are very vulnerable to low doses of chemicals in the environment, the team wrote. Well, there you go. So apparently maybe some of the people you find extraordinarily abrasive and you don't know why. Maybe they're just emitting gases. I guess that's got to be horrible. I mean, what do you do for that? I don't think that's just a cologne issue anymore. That's like, I don't think you can just put a Band-Aid on that. That's got to be a rough deal. Well, my heart goes out to those people who are irritating the hell out of other people due to the gassy excretions. I don't know what to say. Anyway, that's the first article tonight on the news festival here on the Paranormal Portal. So let's get to the next one. So maybe if people don't like you, you might just be gassy. I don't know what to say. All right, let's get to the next article. And this is, sorry, I'm so froggy. From unexplained-mysteries.com, our bears are not humans in costumes, Chinese zoo insists. So people are saying that some of these bears in Chinese zoos are actually people. By TK Randall, July 31st. An attraction at a zoo in China has gone viral after a confusing video clip was posted in social media. The controversy began when visitors at Hangzhou Zoo in China posted up footage of one of the sun bears, standing upright on its hind legs. The clip quickly attracted quite a while. Jesus. Wow. The clip quickly attracted quite a lot of attention, with several social media users maintaining that the animal is little more than a person wearing a costume. Since then, the zoo has been quick to play down such rumors. When it comes to the bears, the first thing that comes to mind is a huge figure and amazing power, but not all the bears are behemoths and danger personified, the zoo wrote in a statement that was intended to be from the perspective of one of the bears. Oh. We Malayan bears are petite, the smallest bear in the world. As things stand, it's not absolutely clear if the bears are actually the real deal or not. You can check out some of the footage below. What do you think? I guess we'll check on some of this footage because I think you guys deserve to know. And for those of you listening on TFR, head over to YouTube and you can check it out with us. All right, let's check it out. Hopefully there's no music. Oh, there is a little bit of sound. There's one of the bears. It looks like a plumber, you know. He's got the whole plumber thing cooking, except there's no seam. I mean, it's a bear. Of course it's a bear. They are not grizzlies. They're not black bear. They're not panda bears, but they are apparently Malayan bears. So Malaysia, as it were, I think. So there you go. They're not people. They are indeed bears. You're welcome. I don't know. What do you say to that? I had seen that on a few different news outlets. People were saying, "Oh, those bears ain't real." No, they're plenty real. They just look different. That's all. Quit being so judgy. All right, the last news story of the night is this one sounds kind of interesting. I pulled it up because I was like, "Well, that sounds kind of cool." Hopefully, it's as good as what they're saying because we could always use new materials. But from unexplained-mysteries.com comes excitement grows over potentially world-changing miracle material. There you go. Looks like a radio tower to me, but let's see what it is. A new type of superconductor called LK99 has been dubbed one of the holy grails of physics and engineering. A couple of weeks back, 2 new scientific papers published by researchers in South Korea claimed that the team had successfully created a revolutionary new superconductor capable of working at room temperature and under normal pressure. Well, that's fantastic because historically superconductors had to be cooled with liquid nitrogen in order for them to truly be superconductive materials. So they're saying there's a new material that's just got to be at room temperature and normal atmospheric pressures. So such an achievement would represent a major breakthrough because existing superconductors require cold temperatures and high pressure, thus limiting their potential use. We might get those floating skateboards yet, folks. I'm just saying. The trouble is nobody's been able to corroborate the existence of LK99, and there have been similar claims that have been subsequently ended up being debunked. Unsurprisingly, scientists have been quick to urge caution over the new research. It's certainly not outside the realms of possibility that a room temperature superconductor could become a reality. Some researchers allege that it is at least theoretically feasible. So far, though, nobody's been able to conclusively demonstrate that it can be done. Whether or not scientists in South Korea have actually succeeded remains to be seen. There you go. And the reason I brought up the levitating skateboards is because basically when Back to the Future 2 or whatever came out, and Marty McFly is riding around on his floating skateboard, that one of the producers of the movie actually said, "No, we have those already." Well, they didn't, or at least at the very least, he was privy to information he probably shouldn't have been, if they really do have them. But essentially, somebody did develop basically a floating skateboard, but it has to be on a specific surface type, a very magnetized surface, and the skateboard itself has to have these superconductor materials on it that you basically have to fill up with liquid nitrogen, and it'll allow you to take a full body weight and glide along on this track. And it's quite impressive, but, you know, the whole liquid nitrogen thing is a little more, not everybody has some in their kitchen sink or under the sink. And I don't think they want to be dispersing that regularly. So they need a superconductor that doesn't require that in order to happen. So it is kind of exciting, you know, that we could have floating cars and things, maybe, perhaps if they can figure out if this is really a thing. However, as with all new technologies, I'll probably be 80 or so before, to become affordable. Everything starts out so super duper expensive. And it's like when VCRs came out, they were like $1,500 or something, or more, like $3,000, to have your own home VCR. What did it say? Greatest. It said greatest on the Ghost Radar. So, and nobody could have them except for the wealthiest people. And I happen to be related to some of those people. So I was able to watch one of the earliest VCRs, and I thought that was amazing. But, go fast forward 5-10 years and everybody had them. They're $199 at, Kmart or Walmart or whatever. So all these things start out extraordinarily expensive. And I suppose it's because, there's money grubbing going on there for sure, I imagine. But anyway, very interesting. Let's hope it's true. If they can have a room temperature superconductor, it could help right across the board of all technology. It would just really open up a whole new scope of possibilities, including for, home electronics. So anyway, that's been the news. I hope you feel you got newsed. I don't know if that made any sense or not. I'm dealing with cold medicine and a foggy head, so this is the best you're getting tonight. Lower your expectations. All right, let's get back to the rest of the show, and we'll get to the Discord question of the week in just a minute. The most trusted news. Turn that down. There we go. Now I'm not echoing. It requires a lot more active fading so I don't sound like I'm a Borg. All right. Anyway, that was the news. Hopefully you learned something. And now we are going to get to the next segment of our show. I'm just checking the chat. Did I miss anything? Anything cool happen while I was reading news? No? It's always cool in the chat, of course. Lucky Gypsy came through with the donate. Thank you. So sweet. All right, let's get to the next one. What the hell is that? Wizard Moon's got like some, I don't know, John Travolta emojis or something, some disco thing cooking. I gotcha. All right, we're going to get to the Discord question of the week now, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a Discord server. If you want to get involved, I'm going to, oh, there we go. The Megaphone Man showed up. Oh, Nancy. Naysay says, hi, miracles. May you find abundant amount of giggles and ectoplasm in your evening slippers. That's a little weird. That's a little weird, Naysay. That's all I'm saying. But thank you, brother. I appreciate it a bunch. So we do have a Discord server. I'm going to put a link in the YouTube chat. And if you want to join our Discord, please do. Discord server is, and special thanks to K-Love, because she donated and elevated our server, so we have a static link, which is nice. We used to have to give you these temporary links all the time. But it is https://discord.gg/paranormal portal. And there it is. All right, so if you want to join our Discord, that's how you do it. You just go over there and hit that link, and if you're a Discord user, you'll be brought right to our server. If not, perhaps you'll be brought to something else. What the hell's going on here? I got some kind of notification happening. I don't know what it is. Anyway, it's not becoming abundantly clear. What is this? I got to look at something here. Something's giving me a big asterisk. So I got to find out if it's something. Oh, my God. I'm getting a bunch of these on my Skype. I'm getting all of these, how the hell do I block it? There we go. I'm getting all these people coming through that want to connect. Random connection requests on Skype. And it's like, who are you? And they usually have to be translated. So there's some kind of scammy stuff going on Skype now. I don't know what it is. But anyway, always beware of your online community. If you ever get unsolicited requests, cut them off. All right, so again, that's the link to the Discord. Let me pull up Discord here. Oh, dear God. What did you put up there? ZX81V2 put up something. I never know what I'm going to see. I never know. And there we go. Oh, Android has just gave me a dissertation. Awesome. And this, again, special thanks to Chucky Danger, folks, because Chucky's been always keeping us, keeping the questions of the week rolling, which has been awesome. So without further ado, let's get into it. The Discord question of the week. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me turn down that fader. There we go. This is our Discord server that you're seeing on the screen in front of you. I'm going to turn it way down. Look at that. It sounds actually normal if I go way, way, way down. But it doesn't sound as normal up here. Weird. That's where my feedback loop is coming from somewhere. But anyway, thank you, Chucky, for making this continue to go on. Chucky's been handling the Discord questions of the week, which is huge for me. If you need me to read it to save your voice, just let me know. Oh, no, I'm good. I'm good, brother, but thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, probably by the end of the show, my voice will be hamburger, but so far it's good. It actually feels good to talk to you guys again. And it's honestly probably very good therapeutically for the chest congestion, because I do feel after every show, and when I've had colds, it's like stuff comes up, because it is kind of aerobic. When I'm talking to you guys on the show, little inside baseball, I'm talking to you much louder than I normally talk. You know, you project your voice, you put more energy into it because you want to have a personality. If you don't have a personality, it's just really boring watching for people. So I try to give you as much of me as I can. And so afterwards, I do feel like I've been working out, but that probably says more about my personal fitness level than anything. So I do find that it's therapeutic. Hi, Portal Mom. Good to see you. Hi, Don. How you doing, brother? Good to see you out there. Aether Archives is tuning in. Yeah, so let's get to the Discord question of the week and find out just what's going on. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the Discord, as I was saying before. If you're new to Discord, we do have a Discord tutorial. Oh, I do want to say a special congratulations to Marie. She's the winner of our Discord t-shirt giveaway. So we do giveaways over there too as well. Not only, we're going to be doing one coming up for our YouTube members as well, but Marie won the first t-shirt drawing for our Discord community. So special congratulations to her. I got to inhale. Her. Sorry. I ran out of air. Oh no, it's doing that again, isn't it? God, what does it do that for? I wish it wouldn't chop these off. Okay, who's the first respondent, Chucky? And I think it's Ariana, I believe. But again, I just get an A and ... Can somebody figure out why that's happening to me? I've got 50 million things to do, and I keep forgetting about this until showtime, and then I go, oh, why? Yeah, it's Ariana Abyss. Thank you, Chucky. I thought so. All right, so the question of the week, again, special thanks, Chucky, for taking care of this question of the week for Friday show, is with the recent UFO disclosures that went to Congress, it's now on public record that there has been an active retrieval program in the U.S. military for UFOs. Non-human biological remains have also been recovered with some of those downed craft. What do you think is the next step here? Will life start looking more like science fiction movie or more of the same? That's a great question. So, first up is Ariana Abyss. She says, I think they'll probably fake an invasion or do some other scare tactic to keep us in a heightened state of fear. Control is the name of the game, and I don't think the real aliens that have been here forever, living in the shadows, will give us more tech until we evolve as a whole. That's a great point. You know, the Project Bluebeam has been on the horizon forever in conspiracy circles, talking about there's going to be a fake alien invasion to try to, take control of the population. But I don't think they need it. I think they've been pretty well taking control anyway. Great thoughts, though. Thank you, Ariana. Next comes Artemis RF, says, I don't expect anything to change. We basically accepted extraterrestrial life as a society. Other governments had done this long before the U.S., and besides, this isn't even in the top strangest things happening in our government this decade. Yeah, isn't that the truth? I guess there's all kinds of strangeness. There's no shortage of strangeness and intrigue in the politics, that's for sure. All right, Marie's coming up next. I think things will stay the same. I believe this was just one of those red flags. Look over here and not over there. Good point. I believe that UFO and aliens have been coming here since way before any of our own great-grandparents were even here. I personally think some do walk amongst us every day. No, I haven't seen them, but I've seen too many UFOs to not believe that they have been coming here. Unfortunately, those in power still don't think the general public can handle the truth in its entirety. I say throw it all out there and let the dice fall where they will. A friend and I were called crazy back in 1988 by a classmate for telling him what we had just witnessed, and if the truth came out, 100% people like that will have to face the truth. Yeah, isn't that the truth? That was redundant on my part, sorry. Isn't that for sure? Yeah, I mean, it's funny because Matt and I had a great discussion about just that at the tail end of the interview on Bigfoot Crossroads. But yeah, I mean, I agree. I think the Tic Tac Crafts videos were released, and it was definitely a raised awareness, and people made notice of it, but there was no riots in the street or people wanting to jump off of buildings or stuff. It was just another day. It's like, oh, really? Yeah, well, I kind of figured. I mean, I think people are probably further along on that spectrum than we're given credit for. I think that people can handle a lot, and we are handling a lot. And at the end of the day, if there's UFOs or not, we still have our lives to take care of. And I think that's what most people are most geared towards, is just handling the day-to-day stuff. It's like, oh, there's aliens? Wow. I thought so. Anyway, I got to figure out how to get my transmission fixed, things like that. I think, people can handle things. Not given a lot of credit for it, though. Next up comes Karen Alberding. How you doing, Karen? And she says, I think things will probably stay pretty much the same. The government don't want us to know everything and will continue to keep secrets and lie. I have zero trust in the government, to be honest, about anything with us. Yeah, I don't think trust in government right now is real high anywhere. Certainly, it's not a problem unique to the U.S. It's just, I think people are kind of tired of the shell game. And I think probably the biggest shock is for a lot of people realizing we've been getting a shell game for a lot longer than we thought. I think people kind of had a sense of unity and belonging in different countries around the world. But I think that now some of these revelations have come out. It's like, oh my God, they've been playing us all. They've been playing us all. So yeah, I hear you, Karen. I think you're right. Chasing Mound Builder CMB says, we're heading towards an awakening. Whatever that looks like, I remain hopeful. I don't think that we are shown is what will be a major factor in our awakening history. History indicates that it's usually that way. I don't think I read that right. We are heading towards an awakening. Whatever that looks like, I remain hopeful. I don't think what we are shown is what will be the major factor in our awakening. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Because history indicates that it's usually that way. Anyway it goes, we will be forced to make a decision, to hold on to our perception of reality or to remain pliable to what could be ascension. That's really interesting, and I really appreciate you saying that. And if anybody wants to go back and check the archives, you can see that this is the truth. But I started noticing a shift, and I'm not patting myself on the back, but just something just slapped me in the face one day. It was just like, oh my God, we're in a period of transition. This is a really important time. And I started saying this during the live shows, and Don can vouch for this, but way back in 2017, I think really pretty close to when we started doing live shows. I just like, something's going on, something's changing. And whatever this is, I believe then, and I believe now, that whatever this is that we're going through is going to be so profoundly important that someday we'll tell our grandchildren, I was there. I was a part of that. It's like one of those moments in the development and history of human beings. I don't know why I feel that way. I really don't know why. But I feel it through every thread of my being that whatever's going on right now is huge. Like the ramifications are global. And I hope we get it right, because If we don't, it's going to be a mess. Anyway, Arc Blaster comes in next, says, more of the same due to timing and other events, which took place simultaneously during that hearing. Yeah, there's always that, don't look there. Look at here. Look at here. Look what we got over here. Don't worry about that. Look at this. Yeah, there's a lot of that. You're absolutely right. More of this, more of that, says, I think information on non-human entities will be a slow rollout. Government had to fill the ever-mounting demand for disclosure. So they gave the people a small slice of truth. I know this sounds negative, but I also think that too much too soon would be detrimental to the human races as a whole. Yeah, you could be right. I mean, I tend to believe that, yeah, people can handle it, but maybe you're right. D Ocean says, I don't think much will change. They will let out only the bare minimum. I think Trump wanted to tell us that we had a space fleet for some time, but they shut all that down fast. Yeah. I mean, I don't pretend to know, but yeah, you could be right. Eric the Purple Hobbits, it's mostly distractions. Next step, who knows what nefarious deeds these clowns are up to. Yeah, it's that's exactly true. You just don't know. And we'll round it out with Android Paranormal coming in to say, what's the next step? Well, according to a few people with credible track records and having good sources, what's next is sometime this year or next year, at the latest, the government is going to be forced to disclose everything they know about these beings, like who they are, where they come from, how long they've been here, and what they think their agenda might be. If the government refuses to do that, then there are several people who are prepared to essentially blackmail the government, basically what Lou Elizondo and Chris Mellon did with the 2 videos of Navy F-18s chasing UFOs, but times 100. It seems a group of former government officials have accumulated tons of evidence in their collection. They're given the government time to come out with this on their own terms, but some people are still currently involved in these alien craft SAPs have already been warned if they don't come clean soon on their own terms, then it won't be pretty for them, and they will have a ton of explaining to do with the American citizens and the world. Regardless, whether the government comes out with the truth or on their own terms or it's forced out, then after that, it's hard to say what life will be like, and that all depends on 2 things. 1, will a ton of people panic buy things at the store, hide in their house and sell their stocks like during the pandemic and cause even worse economic meltdown, or will the majority of people handle it calmly? Number 2 also depends on the aliens, will react to seeing humanity finally realize that they've been present for a long time. This depends on what their motive is. If we are a giant lab experiment for them, this could be bad for everyone to know. Think about it. If monkeys in a lab experiment figure out that they're being manipulated and cannot trust their handlers, what happens? They rebel and fight back. So what happens? The scientists have to get rid of those monkeys and get new monkeys and start the experiment all over again. But if their motives are not about us being a lab experiment, then I doubt much will change. They will probably just continue to do whatever they have been doing for centuries and continue to mostly ignore us, although maybe they would be less likely to stay out of sight, more in the sky. Also, if you want to know where I got most of the info on how disclosure will play out over the next 1 to 2 years, just watch the past year of YouTube podcast from Need to Know with Ross Coulthart. Is that how you say it? Coulthart? And Bryce Zabel. I don't know if that's how you say it. And all the podcasts on Jeremy Corbell's YouTube channel with him and George Knapp. Those 4 are more in touch with sources deep inside these SAPs than anyone else. So you can take what they say to the bank. Most of what they have said over the past year has come to fruition. Yeah, it could be. You could be absolutely right. I think by and large, maybe some people will panic. Some people will, have to do some real soul searching, because it's a paradigm shift, and those can always be sketchy. They're sketchy enough at an individual level, but if you look at it on a global level, well, It's anybody's guess. But I don't know. I don't pretend to know. I just think people can handle more than they're given credit for. And people will come to terms with it, and it'll just be another day. Ultimately, we all have our lives to see to. And unless the sky opens up with these huge motherships that give us replicators and free energy and stuff, then it'll be pretty much the same grind it's always been, except maybe we'll have floating skateboards quicker. You never know. Could happen. But anyway, that's the Discord question of the week. Thank you to everybody that participated. That's awesome. I love your guys' feedback, your take on this stuff, and I think everybody had some brilliant things to say, so thank you. And once again, special thanks to Chucky for keeping the questions rolling, brother. Thank you so much. It really helps out. So anyway, this has been the Discord question of the week. Bada boom. Lower the fader. Oof. There we go. I think that's pretty good. All right. So yeah, as you can tell, I have a lot more work to do. Whereas I could just let it ride before because it would just handle it. Now it's giving me these feedback loops, but I'm closer to a solution. So anyway, as I promised, we're going to be doing some in-studio investigating tonight. So I don't know what we'll get. When I first turned on the flashlight before I went live, it was going on and off. So maybe they'll be present and participating, and maybe not. We'll see. Time will tell. But nothing's going on right now. I guess I can just go over to this screen and put it all up there. And if you guys are all ready, we can get it started in here. So let me turn this stuff on, and we'll dive into it. Actually, I apologize, but I actually do have to take a loo break because I'm on all these cold medicines, and they're just tearing me up in a sense. So stand by for just a couple minutes. I'm going to go to the bathroom, and then I'm going to come back and get everything set up, and we'll dig right into it then. So hold on. I'll be right back. Smoke them if you got them. Get a drink. Use the loo yourself, but I'll see you in a couple minutes.
Play their games. Everybody loves to place their bets. They don't understand the price I paid. They don't care to comprehend. Trace their lines upon my body, dripping scars across my heart. looking glass. Taking off a slice of my sanity, just make sure that you're well fed.
All right, I'm just getting ready. Almost there, so be right with you.
Welcome to FRIGHTS.
Thank you. Good to be here. Okay. All right.
Car.
Car? I heard car.
Being body.
Wow.
Stare.
Very talkative tonight. There we go. Hey, they're here. Ghost radar went off at the same time. Awesome. Oops, I shouldn't clap. That clap was not to make you leave. So, sorry. Wow. That's unusual. Okay. Turn it down just a little. It's going to get a little sketchier with the sound because I do need it up a bit. Sorry about that. There we go. Hopefully that comes through nice and strong. Are you guys hearing the spirit box okay? Yes? Oh, you are. No? Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. I'm going to try to do this in such a way. I may end up sounding like an idiot, but I got to do, I can't mute. Oh, that was interesting. I can't level down. You were walking. Yeah, that one comes through all the time. But I can't level it down too much because we do have to listen to it. So again, flashlight is over there. The K2 meter, the little ball, the little cat ball. I will tell you this. The reason it took me longer was because my batteries were dead on that table. 2 of the batteries were bone dead. Nothing was powered on, but 2 of the batteries over there were dead. Absolutely dead. Nothing. So I had to dig up a new 9 volts. I had one. Wow. So something sucking juice. All right. Are there any spirits here that would like to communicate with us tonight? You can let us know you're here by using your voice in the sound box or the flashlight on the black cloth over there or the little ball. Oh, okay. Good. I guess they're coming up on the ghost radar tonight, so. All right. I'll go a little louder. Oh. All right. So, if you're here, could you please tell me your name? That sounded like 2 syllables. Sound like the same word, but with a male voice. Anybody pick up what that was? Anyone? No? It was like, yeah, that. And it was a female voice first, And then count it with a male voice. Da, da, da. That was 3 syllables of some kind. Can you turn on the flashlight that's on the black cloths so we can see if you're here, please? Would appreciate it. Or the big device with the big red light on it, if you get close to that, that will make a noise that we can hear. Ooh, that was interesting. Lights, yeah. Light. Okay, turn on the light if you would, please. Okay. If you can do that, I'd appreciate it. It will let us know that you're here. You can turn on the light, or the little ball, if you move it, will flash lights for us. And we can see that you're here that way. So, let me demonstrate. All right. If you get close to this, that will do that. And make noise. If you do this, not so loud. Too loud. Or the flashlight over here. Those are a few devices. A few devices you can activate to let us know you're here. Can you activate one of... Stop yelling. Can't hear you when you're so loud. That's better, thank you. Can you activate one of those 3 devices? If you would, please. You can do it. Can you repeat your name? Chuck. Chuck? Sound like Chuck. Sherry's here. Good to see ya. This is your opportunity to talk. If you'd wish to talk with us. Can you make one of the lights light up? This is your chance.
That's all.
Did you drain my batteries?
Yeah.
Sounds like Dad. I think that's a part of the program, though. I've heard that one many, many times. Either that or some kids been following me shouting for Dad. Did you make my batteries drain? Twice on that. That's very, very, very extraordinarily unusual. Right back to back like that? I've never heard that. Did you say Mike? Is your name... Is Peter here? Peter?
Say it again.
Did that say damn you? I swear that said damn you. Huh. Did you say damn you? Is that correct? If you're Peter, can you turn on one of the lights? There's 2 lights on the table, the ball or the flashlight. Or can you get close to the big device with the big red light on it? If you get close to it, it'll make a sound for us. Or can you move that little ball on the table? Can you move that little ball on the table? That was a weird one. Look, I'm not there. You're not here. Nope. You're always welcome to be here, but can you make any of the things on the table move? I mean, you don't need to if you can't. That's okay. How about the flashlight? Can you make that flashlight turn on, please? That's a lot of voices. We would appreciate if you'd let us know that you're here. Can you do that? I think I will put this one. Okay. Now there's a ball in that chair. And if you move the other ball like that, it'll flash as well. Is anyone here that wishes to communicate with us? That one comes up quite a bit too. Are you guys hearing anything? Hi, unknown. Good to see you. Hello, hello. Hi, John. Good to see you too. Is Peter here? Peter, can you make one of the lights turn on? The flashlight or the ball? Or the ball in the chair? Any of those would be great.
I take
Oops, NABC. Huh. Now's your opportunity. If you get close to this, it'll alarm like this. Can you do that? If you could do that, I'd appreciate it. You always seem very reluctant about that device. I'm glad some of you tuned in to the Montvale Hotel investigation because the REM pod was going crazy just sitting on a bed. It was really, really something. Really something. We need some kind of proof that you're here. It's a lot of female voices coming through, though. Huh.
You asked?
I asked, yeah. The interesting thing is that you can't gauge the gender based on the samples. The sound samples are male, female, and they are what they are. So just because you're hearing a childlike voice or a girl voice does not necessarily mean that we're dealing with a female or child spirit, much like a male doesn't mean a male either. So we got to pay attention to the context of what they're saying, because the actual tone of the voices is built into the database. So I don't know that the spirits pick one because it's male or female. I think it's utilizing the sound available is kind of the idea with stochastic resonance. This is your opportunity to let us know that you're here. Turn on the light, please. Can you please do that? Make one of those balls blink by moving it. Light, yeah.
Jump.
A jumper. That one's another canned one. See, the hard part is figuring out what is anomalous and what isn't. And honestly, the more you use these databases, I think the more accurate you get, because you get used to the normal samples and when something sticks out as different. And we've heard several. I don't know about tonight. There was a few tonight that are very, very unusual. But the night when I made the video, what you missed, I said, does anybody here want to talk with us? And a voice came through and said, yeah, I do. Is that spirit that said that the other night here now? The one that said, yeah, I do? It is interesting. Remember I said that before the show, the flashlight was flashing on and off a bunch. And then it quit. I guess I should check the flashlight too, because two of my 9 volts were dead. Like nothing on them at all. Like they've been on for weeks and they haven't. So it's very strange. I wonder if the flashlight could be drained. Nope. Just going to set it up just right. It's just got to be right on that hair between not quite on, not quite off, just kind of in between. But you got to make sure it's not too much one way or the other, because I think that it does take a significant amount of energy for them to trigger these things. As I'm holding it. Let's see if that works. Okay. Did that help? Light. Yeah, that's a light. Now it's flashing a lot. Okay. Thank you for turning it on and off. If that is truly you, can you turn it on right now? Okay. Okay. Can you turn it off now, please? Okay. All right. Thank you for doing that. Thank you very much. Is that your welcome? Okay. Thank you. Can you turn it off now, please? Just because if it's always flashing, it's hard to know if it's actually you communicating. Thank you. All right. Are you a male? If you're a male, can you make that light turn on again? Yes? Okay. You're a male. Okay. Are you Peter? Is your name Peter? Oh, okay. So you are Peter. You were here the other night, is that right? And then the voice says, yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Can you turn it off now, please? Thank you. A little more. You almost got it. It's still a little on. Can you turn it off, please? Thank you. Okay. So Peter, oh, Just wait till I ask a question, please. Peter, did you live in this home? Is that a yes? Can you make the ball blink too if that's a yes? Just the ball this time, Peter, if it's you. If you're really here and you're really Peter and you're really a presence that's here, can you make the ball blink? Just the little ball, not the flashlight. Yeah. Sounds kind of staticky, doesn't it? Interesting. Can you turn the flashlight off, please? I'd appreciate it. If you would please turn the flashlight off. More off than that. It turns on brighter. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Oh, you turned it on again. Okay, can you leave it off now, please? Well, after you turn it off. Can you leave the light off, please? Why does it sound so staticky? What's going on? Okay, can you turn the light off? Please? Do you hear how that sounds so staticky now? It's dying. That battery is dying. Right here in real time. For the speaker. Are you making the batteries drain? That's crazy. That's 3 batteries, folks. 3. I mean, the red light is still on. Let me switch to this camera. It might be a better view. The red light is still on. But right here, there's a red, I don't know if you can see it, right underneath my finger. There's still a red light, but it's getting dimmer. Can you see it? There it is. That battery has just drained right now as we're watching this. That's 3 batteries. It's still on. It still has a light on it. Are you messing with the speaker? It's trying to talk. I can't hear you. I'm trying to hear you. I turned all the way up. Are you there? That was maybe me for the flashlight coming on that time. I was tapping the speaker, so it might have affected the flashlight. Can you turn the flashlight off, please? Light. Can you turn the light off? Are you draining the batteries? I don't know. It's very strange. That's kind of crazy. I don't know. Hi, Penny Van. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Penny Van. They're draining the batteries so they can haunt other parties of your pad. Nah. I do cleanse very aggressively after these shows. So far it's managed to work, but knock on wood. But yeah, that's 3 batteries though. I've never seen that ever happen. Last time I saw the battery drainage like that was when I went to the Davenport Hotel with Charles Howard Johnson. Both of his cameras died, and I had batteries dying left and right. So that was the last time. Can you make it louder, please? Hello? I can't hear you. Can you make that device louder? I honestly don't think I have another battery. I guess we could switch to the oh, thanks, Mom. I did see that. Thank you, Mom. I guess I could switch to another app since I'm literally out of batteries now. I've had to replace 3 batteries tonight. Well, 2, and I had a fresh battery in this one. I mean, the light is still on, but are you there? Is there a reason you're quiet? Maybe I'll crank this volume up. That's me with the ball. Yeah, it's just not going to give me anything more. So, that's very anomalous. I've never seen this before. That's why I'm thinking strong presence. Yeah. Yeah, could be stronger. Doesn't feel like it doesn't feel scary or anything like that. Oops, wrong button. Like I don't have a heaviness in the air or anything like that. So I do trust my intuition. Whoops, dang. Then I turned it on for this scene. Yeah, I don't know. Can you turn the flashlight off, please? Could you do that for me? Peter, if that's you, could you turn off the flashlight, please? I'd really appreciate it if you would. I don't know. It's like something must be interfering with it. If it's not draining the battery, it's interfering with the device. I don't understand. I'm pretty sure I don't have another battery. But let me do this just to see. I'm going to take off my headphones and we'll have to see. Let me see in my drawers. Pulling open my drawers. Not those kind of drawers. Get your mind out of the gutter, huh? Yeah, that's funny. You know those drawers that everybody has that are just packed full of junk that you never really need, but you think you're going to need? Yeah, that's my drawers. I mean the desk drawer, I should probably clarify, because Don's out there probably chuckling to himself. If I know Don, he's getting a huge kick out of that. All right, let me look over here on the desk. All right. Why is this so quiet? Turn it off. I don't understand. No, that's me. I'm doing that. Yeah, it's like there's no volume at all. And the volume is cranked on the phone. So I don't understand. Where the hell did I put those? Oh, some junk batteries here. Maybe these will work. Can you turn off the flashlight, please? Please? What did you do? There we go. Thank you. I gotta see if one of these might have a charge on it. Oh. I just turned that off. Okay, I'm gonna switch the battery here. Oh, is that okay with you? Thank you. That was me making that ball blink. I have the speaker here Thank you for turning off that light again. I appreciate it. So, I'm a little bit old school when it comes to testing batteries. Thank you for the flashlight again. God, it's still got a charge. I don't know. That's how I test batteries. Sorry. I've done that ever since I was a little kid. So if that's weird, I always lick the 9 volts. That one's got a good charge too. But let's see if this makes a difference. We'll see. All we can do is try. Okay. Thank you. Yep. You're willing to let me try? Okay. Okay. Why? I'm just listening to the hiss to see if it's... I think that's an overdrive, isn't it? Yeah, that's an overdrive. I don't want that on because I don't want it to be distorted. It's a little guitar amp. It's a honeytone, but works good as a portable speaker. All right, let's try. How the hell? Oh, if I just touch that. Look at that. If I just touch this, it is affecting the REM pod. That's crazy because I'm nowhere near it. I just learned something tonight. Look at that. Oh, thanks. You already knew that? But look at it. If I touch my connector, even though I'm outside of the maximum distance to the REM pod, it can go off. I did not know that. But I learned it now, which is good because hopefully we can hear something. Can you turn off the light, please? Okay, are you talking? Yeah. Yeah, it didn't help. Something's going on with my speaker now. I don't know, folks. It's the way of this stuff. Are you messing with the equipment? Yeah? Okay. Can you not mess with it? Will you not mess with it, please? Make the light. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's a strange thing because what can I do? Even though I've changed batteries now, I still get no volume out of that. Like something is affecting it. So I think I'll stick with plan A, which I was going to do, and just put my phone into airplane mode. And we'll turn off Bluetooth, turn off Wi-Fi. And we'll just go into airplane mode, and I'll try the Spirit Talker app just to see if that's got any potential. I haven't used this for a long time. Again, this is the Spirit Talker. You'll see it on many of the ghost shows and stuff. But we can try this. You think that's a good idea? Okay. So this device I'm holding, if you're, I got to turn it on. This device I'm holding, if you should, it's believed that you can say things through this device. Just keep it positive, nothing negative and horrible. This is a family show. You gotta set the tone. We'll see if it says anything. It's surprisingly quiet. Can you make that little ball light up? That little ball on the table, right towards the edge. Can you make that move? Can you? Mum. Mum. M-U-M. Mum. That's a very old way of saying mom. Or very English, I guess. Mum. Okay. Are you someone's mum? Or are you looking for your mum? Yeah, it's pretty quiet. I think I will, rather than wait for this, because there's anybody's guess, 8:21. I think I'll switch. It says,
I'm in my 30s.
you're in your 30s. Okay. Well, nice to meet you. I'm older than that. I'm not in my 30s. Not for quite some time. Okay. Actually, I was thinking about the music box might be better. I don't know. It's a strange night, isn't it? Battery drains. The speaker won't. I mean, I thought the battery was draining in the speaker, but obviously that's not the case. Something is interfering with the ability to hear it.
Contain.
Contain. Is it being contained? Is that what it is? Can you turn that light off, please? Please. Almost got it. Turn it off, please. Can you make this device in my hand say light?
Oracle.
Yeah, Oracle. Can you make this device in my hand say the word light? No? Okay. That's one way to test it, I guess. I'm still not sold on this device, but okay. Thanks for turning the light on over there. Can you turn it off, please? How about the little ball? Either the one in the chair over there. Can you make that flash lights for us? The ball that's sitting in the chair? Can you do that? Yeah, I can't get any sound out of that thing. Okay. Well, I think we'll go to the cryptid corner now because there's not much use trying to communicate but having such limited ability to communicate. So, this I might as well turn off because they're not communicating so well tonight. All right, we'll just leave that stuff there. I think what we'll do is we'll do some cryptid corner because it's been a long time since we had some shows, and I know not everybody's a huge fan of the live ghost stuff. Some people get freaked out by it, but I'll turn down this now so that I don't sound like I'm a robot, and we'll do some cryptid corner. And I've got a few articles pulled up. That'll be a great way to round out the show, I think, tonight. If you guys are all game, let's hit it. Yeah, it's been quiet, and it's screwing with the sound. I mean, there's only so much you can do. I don't have a huge toolbox of ghost equipment. I'd like to get a spirit box, even though I'm not real fond of the whole sweeping thing. I think I could use that noise gate and tame that down quite a bit and maybe get some to where you could actually listen to it without taking you out of the whole experience. So it goes way fast. All right, let's get to some cryptid corner and see what we can get into here. Again, could you turn the light off, please, though, before I quit this part? One last time. One last time. Come on. No. It's like whatever is just gone. Okay. I'm going to shut it off then. Because I'm already losing enough batteries. That was interesting that I could touch the lead on the plug-in to the speaker and it would trigger the REM pod, even though the REM pod's about 12 inches away, 10 inches, 12 inches. And it's supposed to have a maximum range of 7 inches. So just touching that lead, maybe because it was energized, maybe it creates a field. That was very interesting. But it's good to know because you have to know what are things that could falsely trigger and cause, confusing results. So, I mean, that's one thing. Not like I usually hold on to electrical leads very often, but if you do, then I guess no. I'm surprised they don't have an app, Spirit Box app. They probably do, but I'm really kind of more skeptical of apps. I use the Spirit Radar here on the show all the time. Do I think it's accurately picking up presences? Maybe sometimes. I'm not sure that everything it picks up is, but apps like the phone apps, I'm kind of on the fence about. And even the portal build that we use with the speaker and the phone database of partial words, I'm still not 100% just because it says something. But sometimes some of the responses are so profound. It's like, yeah, I can't ignore that. But I still think you have to spend a lot of time with them to learn what's a normal sound in there and what's abnormal, what is, out of the norm. So that's what helps you identify when you're actually getting communication potentially and when you're just listening to an algorithm spit out sounds. And that happens a lot. But I can assure you that everything you hear from that is absolutely not spirit communication. But I think on many, many occasions I've heard things come through that I firmly believe are. So I think, it kind of comes off like, wow, those are spirits talking. But no, those are database of partial words getting spit out. But I add reverb. We noise gate them to clean them up and then add reverb, which gives it a bigger wavelength that it's believed spirits can manipulate. So when something truly profound comes through, like, yeah, I do, which came through the other night, that was like, and the you're welcome that came through another night was just like, but it was chopped off. It was like, you're welcome, like that. And it was like, oh, I still think that was profound because I've never heard that since or before. So anyway, let's get to some Cryptid Corner and we'll round out the night's events this way. So let me pull them up, and we're going to start out with Sasquatch Chronicles, of course. And this one's from July 25th. So it's a little bit older, but still. We haven't done a live show for a while, so that's recent in the chronology of the Paranormal Portal live shows. So this one is July 25th. Again, head over to Sasquatch Chronicles blog. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a phenomenal site. I forgot to turn off that again. All right. And if everybody knows the podcast, obviously Wes does, just a second to none as far as his podcast is concerned. But his website is also really incredible, and he works really hard keeping it current and up to date, and posts articles from many, many different platforms, not just his own. But I particularly am fond of the listener emails that he posts on there. I think they are fascinating because they're all, experiences with people are having with these big feet Sasquatch. I said big feet. I'm a dork. All right. So it's, I thought it was a man dressed like a monkey. The listener writes, "Hi, Wes. After listening to episode 947 and Tom, I thought I needed to share my account as it was very much like his. Just half a world away in Australia. I was 10 in 1967. My mother, her friend, and kids, 2 or 3, I can't remember that, and my 5 sisters had gone to Ku-ring-gai National Park, where Skippy the Bush Kangaroo TV program was filmed. There's a waterway, picnic area, car park, etc. All us kids ran to play around the area and bush. Mom and friend were at the picnic tables, and there was when I looked into the bush, this man dressed like a monkey in my 10-year-old brain. There was, I guess you saw, a man dressed like a monkey in his 10-year-old brain. Okay. Yowie/Sasquatch were unheard of. He was about 6 feet tall and quite slim, dark hair, covered his body, and as I looked at him, he beckoned me with a hand gesture, just like they did for Tom's story. It's one of the most perplexing things, which I didn't believe would ever happen or see. Hell no was I going anywhere near a man/thing Yowie. which was calling me over. I did tell Mom, and there was a man in a monkey suit, but like most parents, I was told to stay away and don't go near the bush and watch the kids. LOL. Anyway, this being hung around on and off the whole time we were there. At one stage, it was very high up in a gum tree. My thought was he won't be able to get down from there. They'll have to call the fire brigade. Remember, this is a 10-year-old brain. Continued to play and run around, and when I thought about the man in the tree again and looked, he was gone. There was a block made of tin and roof bricks. Nothing fancy, but he was back. But near, what is that? I don't understand. There was a toilet block made of tin roof and brick walls. Nothing fancy, but he was back. But near there on occasion also. So when we had to go to the toilet, we went as a group, safety in numbers thinking. This is a weird part. Also, we are all piled in the 2-cubicle dunny, doors open, and we hear this crash on the roof, like someone jumping on it. Then a corner of the tin trying to be pulled off. You couldn't see anything, but it was certainly loud. Kids come screaming out of there and run to the parents and said we were scared and wanted to go home. Now, we're in the car driving up and out of the park and had to stop at the ranger's shed in the middle of the road to pay. They weren't open when we came in, so we had to pay on leaving. Strangely, the ranger said, and I can hear it like it was yesterday, "Have you had a good day? Any trouble or weirdness? We've had reports of a man in a monkey suit, but we can never find him." I piped up, yes, he was climbing up a tree and scared us in the toilets. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Now, again, sounds like a yowie, but maybe a juvenile. Maybe a juvenile yowie. It's kind of creepy, though, when it was trying to get to the kids. Yikes. You don't know what they're doing, right? It could be up to anything. Could be dinner, or it could just be to play. I'd like to assume it's to play, but you just don't know. These are unknown creatures, so always err on the side of caution. All right, let's go to the next one from Sasquatch Chronicles blog, and this is from July 26th. This is actually an audio file, so those of you on TFR, you may not actually be able to hear this, but we'll give it a shot, and maybe I can send a link over to TFR so you can check it out in person. Let me do that first, so that if anybody's over there, you can check it out yourself. There it is. All right. So this is Sabrina from episode 970 sent me this piece of audio. If you remember from the episode, she had an encounter in May of this year in Ohio. She describes seeing this small creature running away, and she said it was gray and had long arms. Sabrina said it was about the size of my 10-year-old niece. She writes, "Hey Wes, it's Sabrina again. Went back to the property and got this audio. Thought you'd want to hear it since you said if anything else happens to keep you in the loop. I hope it works for you." So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is from Sasquatch Chronicles YouTube channel. He's posted it there, but it's here on his blog. So let's have a listen. Yikes. Well, that's a little horrifying. Yeah, I think if I heard those noises, I wouldn't be going out into the woods to try to figure it out. Like, nope, that's good. I'm staying inside tonight. Shut the windows. Yeah, Ohio is just such a busy place anyway for all this strange phenomena. So, yeah, creepy stuff, man. It's strange. Now, is it possible it's misidentified something else? Maybe. I'm not claiming to be a woods person or a biologist, so I certainly could be wrong, but it doesn't sound like something that I'm familiar with. That just sounds creepy. That sounds so haunting, you know? Yeesh. All right, let's go to the next one. Wasn't any sound. Really? You got no sound? You could not hear it? Wonder why. Let's try again. What could be doing that? Let's try again. Let's hold on. Let's try that again. Let me know if you're hearing anything. I can see the thing's not moving either. That's weird. What could that be? Wonder if it's this. No. Obviously, I got more things to look at. So anyway, we'll skip that one for now. But I'll put a link in the chat here. You guys can check it out there and listen to those howls. They're pretty good. It sounds kind of like other Sasquatch howls that I've heard. I'm not sure why the sound's not working. That's very strange. Huh. More fun in the studio. Well, maybe it's helping me to troubleshoot this a little bit. Wow. Did you hear music when I went to break? Did you guys hear music? I'm hoping you did. Yay. No. You guys didn't hear music? Oh. Take off my headset. Oh, okay. Karen says yes, they did. So how about this? Let me just do this quickly, just for curiosity. Okay, did you guys hear that? Okay, well then that's working for that, but I don't know why it's not working for the video here. But anyway, I put the link in the YouTube chats, and it's in the TFR chat, so if anybody wants to check it out, you're welcome to listen to those. It's not real long, but it is creepy. So are those vocalizations of Sasquatch? Could very well be. All right, let's see. What time do we have? 8:38. Well, we got plenty of time. All right, we got a lot more to get through, too, so that works out good. Let's go to the next one on Sasquatch Chronicles blog, and this one is from July 26th. I looked at its face. I'm an avid outdoorsman. As a kid, I did tons of camping and weekends under the stars. In my life, I've had two very profound experiences that solidify my knowledge of the existence of Sasquatch. The first took place in southwest Pennsylvania. My father's family is from coal mining country, tough bunch, generations of black lungs, and we would visit from New York often enough. And this is a typical early spring visit. 1979. My father was an engineer for a very large three-letter corporation that did very quiet work for a different kind of three-letter company. I think I know where they're going there. Honestly, my dad never told me what he actually did. Probably IBM and CIA, but anyway. It took me years to pull it all together. He was extremely smart, very well educated, but had a very rough upbringing. He'd bring us back to his hometown to instill a sense of family and history in us. My grandparents were not particularly warm people. They didn't see my dad like we did. He was too smart, too good for them. Anyway, he wanted to show me the coal mine he worked in at high school. So he and I drove out of this little town of about 5 miles up into the hills and off the state route. Excuse me. We drove up a rocky dirt driveway wide enough for a dump truck to fit about 10 minutes, and approached a very rusty, closed fence. The panels of the fence were about 8 feet tall, and the overhead track that rolled on was about 17 feet. Trucks had to fit under it. It was locked with a huge chain at the center, and looked like it hadn't been opened for quite some time. We pulled up about 10 feet from the fence. There was lots of brush, small trees growing up into the fence on both sides of the gate. He was pointing out the small building that was in the main shaftway into the mine when my attention was suddenly taken to my right just inside the fence. Something was moving about 20 feet to my right inside the locked yard. I looked back at where he pointing at another structure when again I looked to the right. This time I was just shocked. I was looking directly at it. The creature had gotten to our side of the fence, and I'm guessing there's a hole that was now standing about 15 feet from my car door. Keep in mind, I was 12 at the time, so I recall most of what happened vividly, but I was petrified during the encounter. I looked at its face. I was locked on his brown eyes, very human eyes, and its ragged face, really sun-cooked. The creature walked towards the car and turned to walk around the front. It had no emotion as it looked at me and kept its eyes on me until it got to the front corner of the car. Then it pointed its gaze at my dad, and this is where the really weird part comes in. If you're familiar with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson from his heyday in wrestling, then you know what the people's eyebrow is. That almost comical eyebrow lift that he would do at the TV camera. This thing did exactly that to my father. He also broke a very strange smile. Even crazier was my dad's reaction. He just gave that monster a nod, like he was running into an old buddy of his in a bar. Just a nod. At this point, I was almost in convulsions with fear. Pretty sure I pissed a little on the car seat. I began to cry and hide my face. I wanted to be not there. My heart was racing and I needed to throw up. The smell that now permeated the car was overwhelming. It was truly disgusting. My dad the entire time was telling me to calm down. Everything was all right. The creature's gone. I looked and it was nowhere in sight. Dad was as calm as could be. He put the car in reverse and turned us around a few yards behind us. He began to drive us back to the highway, and I really started screaming, "What was that? What the hell did I just see?" He was very calm in his speech, very monotone, and he said, "It lives in the woods. It won't hurt you. It just wants to look at you." A few minutes later, we're back in the town. He pulled over in a parking lot and began to tell me I should just keep calm. Do not tell anyone here, namely my mom, siblings, and grandparents, what I just saw. It unnerved me that I saw this, and now I have to keep it a total secret. It just made no sense. It took me a while to get it together, but I managed to compose myself. We had dinner later with Dad's brother and his family. After dinner, my uncle made the comment that someone 3 towns away saw Bigfoot, and now his dog is running around with its tail between its legs. I looked at my dad, and he said that, and my dad just gave me that look of, "Don't say anything." This part of Pennsylvania is known for these sightings, but there are just too many deniers and too many skeptics. I put this episode away for a few years and tried to talk to Dad about this. He was very tight-lipped, but he did acknowledge that it happened, and there are stranger things in our world than I will ever know. Well, that was about as much as he would say. He died in 1992. He was too young, and I had the worst time trying to get past his death. He smoked and drank, didn't do illicit drugs, and never exercised as much as he could. His lifestyle brought up an early death. Wow, so that man was very familiar with the fact that these things are out there. And to just be nonchalant, like the thing gave him the people's eyebrow, like, the Spock and the smirk, and then the dad just nodded like, "Yeah, I got you." So that was obviously not the dad's first rodeo, and who knows how many rodeos the dad had like that, but it was obviously for something he was very familiar with. So that's kind of cool. I think that's a great story. I mean, it's certainly not a Hollywood story, but it's certainly an incredible story of someone having come to terms with the fact that these things are out there. Very cool. All right, let's go to the next one. Sasquatch Chronicles blog again. July 27th. This one is an upcoming show, so it's probably published by now. The man was enormous. A listener writes, when I was around 9 or 10 years old, back in 1989 or 90 in Jackson, Wyoming, there was where I was born and raised. I had a friend who lived down the street from me who got a horse for his birthday. So I saddled up my horse and we hit the trail. Back then, kids like us would take off for a few days before anyone started worrying. I think I remember that we rode these poor horses all over the country for 3 days. The second and third day, we went up to Cache Creek Canyon to see how far we could make it, and we got to a little spring where a tree had fallen across the trail, and we realized our horses could jump over it, so we must have ran them back and forth over that darn thing for an hour until the horses were all lathered up. So we decided to unsaddle them and let them cool off, and we all drank from that spring. I remember clearly that my horse had his ears pinned forward and that he would give a little snort now and again, clearly concerned about something off in the timber, but I couldn't see anything. Then I smelled something awful, a rotting flesh mixed with wet dog smell. The first thing that came to my mind was it must be a dead elk, because that canyon is a migration route for elk in the fall and spring, so I told my buddy that I was going to go check it out and see if we could acquire some ivory. So I went up to the base of this cliff that was about 60, maybe 70 feet tall, and trees blocked the area between where my friend and the horses were and myself. As I was scanning the area, I looked over to my right, and this giant black man walked around the base of the cliff. The evening sun was behind me, and the way the shadow played off the base of the cliff, I could only see the top of this half of this man. Now, normally that would be cause for concern, I suppose, but in my mind, it was just another mountain man who decided to quit civilization and live off the land like in the old days. I'd been with my dad and grandpa when we've met other men who would come down to stock up on supplies and then head right back up into the mountains, so I really just thought he was one of them. Yeah, he was huge. But again, I was an ignorant little country boy who, up to that point, never met a black person before. And the only thing I did know was what I saw on TV when we would watch the Packers play. And I generally thought that black folks were bigger and usually better at sports than the other folks. And I was fascinated by the situation I found myself in, and I wanted to meet this guy. The man was enormous, with long, dreaded black hair, fairly long beard that was silver up in the middle of it. He was bald on the very top of his head, and I remember that it looked raw or something because he had a big scar running around the length of the top of his head. And I remember thinking, man, that looks like it must have hurt. Another thing I noticed was his head was fairly pointed as well. He was wearing what I thought was a black bearskin coat because it was pitch black, hair covering his upper body, but I could see his massive shoulder muscles and biceps moving under that hair. He raised one arm and grabbed a little ledge of the cliff and kind of leaned into it, and at that point I realized it wasn't a jacket he was wearing, but in fact, it was his own hair. That thinned around the armpit, along his sternum and under his pecs. Now, like I said, I was fascinated and had no feelings of being threatened, and I wanted to ask this guy a bunch of questions. So I raised my hand and waved and said, "Howdy." I'll never forget the look he gave me. It was a look of annoyance. I knew the look well because I was an annoying kid back then. I then asked, "What you doing?" Still, he did not respond and seemed like he was more concerned about something else up the ridge, because he would look up the ridge and study it for a bit and then look back at me. And at one point, he made a low growl like I was in the way or something. I don't remember how long the encounter lasted, but it seemed to be a couple minutes or maybe a little more. I do remember hearing some kind of whoop from off in the distance, and he replied by making a sound with his tongue that sounded like a wood knock that we see in almost every Bigfoot investigation these days. I had another buddy who would snap his tongue to the roof of his mouth, and it would make the same noise, and he could make it really loud. But this guy's was way more loud, and at least that's what I think happened. Then my buddy called out to me, and he snapped his head over, and so did I, and when I looked back at him, he just pulled himself up the cliff and grabbed another ledge with his other hand and repeated it like 2 more times until he was up at the top and disappeared from view. I yelled to my friend, "Did you see him?" And as he walked up to me, he asked, "Who was that?" Later on, I tried talking to him about it, and he claimed he didn't actually see anything or anyone. I was sure he saw him, though. Anyhow, a couple years later, we were taking a pack trip up to a place called Turquoise Lake. And I remember I was 12 because that spring, my cousin and I were taught how to train our first colts, and we rode them on that pack trip. We got up to a culvert that crossed the road and had holes in it on the top that our colts wouldn't cross over, as it was over it. So as the rest of the group went on ahead, we stayed behind, trying everything to get them fillies to go over that culvert. It took quite a while to get them over it, and then we set out to catch up with everyone else. And we got to the steepest part of the trail, so we took a rest for a while before the big climb, so we just sat and talked for a bit. I was on my horse when I realized that I was standing right next to that same cliff, and I was right under that little ledge where that man had put his hand on. Let me repeat that. I was on my horse, and I still had to raise my arm up to where his hand was. That was about 10 or 11 feet from the ground. I then proceeded to tell my cousin the story about what I saw, and he immediately blew me off, saying there was no way I saw a man that tall climb a cliff, basically using his arms. Even then, I hadn't thought much about it. And it wasn't until 2007-ish when I started getting into Bigfoot, and I saw that drawing of one that some guy had drawn after he had an encounter. And I thought my mind was going to quit me. I scrambled to find paper and pencil and went to town frantically drawing, and my hands were shaking so bad. But that was when I was done, I stepped back and just stared at it. There he was, the man I had seen so long ago, and all I did was make the creature the other guy drew bald and with the beard, and it was exactly what I remembered. Now, say what you will, I still can't bring myself to say I saw a Bigfoot, but at the same time, I can't explain how that dude was so damn big. Anyway, I don't give a rip if you use my name or if you even want to share this. I'm too old to give two dukers what anyone thinks of me, and if anyone hears my story. My buddy just really wanted me to share it with you guys, and I've really gotten sucked into your podcast and look forward to binging the whole damn thing. I attached the drawing of what I remember him looking like. Look at that. Jeez. Look at those shoulders. Oof. That there's a big one. I don't know how tall he thought it was, though. But if it reached up and was at 10 or 11 feet ledge, then I guess it would be about an 8 foot, maybe 7.5 or 8 feet. I don't know. That's crazy. Great story, though. What an incredible experience. And again, this is a great indicator that, again, these, some people think, oh, they're aggressive. They could hunt people. Well, maybe. But I think by and large, they're pretty peaceful and they just avoid us. They choose our absence. And knowing some people, I don't blame them. Oh, I'm so dry. Hairball. All right. What time do we have? Actually, that's about it, folks. Wow. We cooked through the whole night. I hope you guys have enjoyed this excursion into the Paranormal Portal. It's great to be back. It's great to be talking to you again. Remember, tomorrow night, Ms. Deborah Varner will be joining us right here in the portal doing psychic readings. So it'll be a different night, but one that we've had a lot of fun doing. Hope you guys tune in and take advantage of that. Deb is really wonderful. You'll use the same phone number that appears below my face on your screen on YouTube. So 720-923-0500. 0500. So if you want to call in and be a part of that, call early and hold the line. We generally go into overtime and we make sure we get through every caller. So don't worry if the normal 2 hours is running short. But I would ask that nobody calls in past like 9:45. That there has to be a cutoff. Otherwise, we've done 4 hours before. And that gets to be a marathon. So we got to keep it somewhat, tight. But anyway, that'll be tomorrow night right here on the Paranormal Portal. So I hope you guys will tune in and take part in this. I guess that's everything I can think of right now. But I hope you guys are doing great. Remember, we love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day. And remember to laugh as much as you can. I'll be back tomorrow night with Mrs. Deborah Varner and the free psychic readings. It's almost an effect. All right, good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night. And until then, be good.